the cross product. Okay, today in this lecture, lecture 6, we will be studying the cylindrical coordinate system and differential elements in the cylindrical coordinate system. Before that, bit of thing was left out in the rectangular coordinate system that I will be covering. Then later on I will move to the cylindrical coordinate system and differential elements in cylindrical coordinate system. There are three types of coordinate system, that is rectangular coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. Already we have seen the rectangular coordinate system, how to locate the points, how to locate the planes and how many quadrants are there, all those things we have seen. Okay, bit of was left out, I will cover that, and then we will move to the second type of coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, yes, in the rectangular coordinate system there are we are concentrating on three-dimensional coordinate system. Okay, I will draw the diagram. X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis. Okay, what are the limits on X, Y, Z? That is X, Y, Z. What should be the limits for rectangular coordinate system? That we'll see. This I have not told previously. Okay, X varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Similarly, Y also varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Then Z also varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Already I have told in three-dimensional rectangular coordinate system there are totally 8 quadrants. What I have drawn is just only one quadrant. So only positive x-axis is shown. It will move from 0 to infinity. Along the negative x-axis it will go to 0 to minus infinity. So the value of x varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Similarly, y varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Z also varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. These are the limits or boundaries on the values of x, y, z. Okay, if I take any point, if I locate any point here, a of some x comma y comma z, okay, or else I will say 1 comma 2 comma 3 for example, let me take it, right? Then if I locate any point, it may be any coordinate system, whether it is rectangular coordinate system or cylindrical coordinate system or spherical coordinate system, it is always an intersection of three planes. If I locate any point in any of the three-dimensional coordinate system, it is always an intersection of three planes. I will tell you which are the three planes. We know that xy plane, yz plane and zx plane. Okay, just I will redraw it once again here. Just I want to tell this concept for you people. Okay. Okay, these are the three planes, right? XY plane, YZ plane and ZX plane. I have located a point A here. The coordinates are 1 comma 2 comma 3. Then already I have made one statement. Location of a point is nothing but if I locate any point in any of the coordinate system, it is always an intersection of three planes. Here the three planes are XY plane, YZ plane and ZX plane. Yes, in order to locate point A, XY plane has to shift by how many units? In the Z direction. XY plane, this XY plane, this is the XY plane, right? XY plane, it has to shift by 3 units in the Z direction, 1, 2, 3, so that it will reach this point A. Then similarly, XZ plane, this is XZ plane, XZ plane. In order to reach point A, it has to move in the Y direction. How many? That is by 2 units. By 2 units it has to move. By 2 units it has to move, right? This XZ plane. Then next I am left out with the last plane, that is YZ plane. YZ plane. What is the coordinate of x? It is 1. So YZ plane should come in front, that is it should move along x direction by 1 unit, so that XY plane, YZ plane and ZX plane have to move by corresponding units in x direction, y direction, z direction, so that it is intersection of three planes. This point A is nothing but intersection of three planes. So this holds good for other coordinate systems also. So this was left out, so I have told this. Okay. Next we'll start with the cylindrical coordinate system. Some people refer to it as circular cylindrical cylindrical coordinate system, or simply instead of saying circular I will say cylindrical coordinate system, and shorthand notation is CCS. For rectangular coordinate system we have used RCS, rectangular coordinate system, also called as Cartesian coordinate system. So most of the times we will be using rectangular that notation for RCS. Then for cylindrical coordinate system we will be using the short form as CCS, cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, just like the three axis x, y, z axis, here with reference to the three-dimensional rectangular coordinate system we will study the cylindrical coordinate system. So once again we will take the help of the three-dimensional coordinate axis, that is rectangular coordinate system. Okay, just you know the shape of the cylinder, right? This is a cylinder, right? Yes, I'll take the help of three-dimensional coordinate system, rectangular coordinate system x, y, z, in order to study the cylindrical coordinate system x, y, z. Yes, in cylindrical coordinate system, the coordinates are rho, phi, and z. Rho, phi, z. Just like x, y, z in a rectangular coordinate system, x, y, z in RCS, rectangular coordinate system. Here the coordinates are rho, phi, z. We'll see how the planes are there and all such things. Yes, we have imagined in three-dimensional rectangular coordinate system, you take a big cube, cut it into half and cut it into 4 pieces, right? Already cut it into half, cut it into 4 pieces, 4 pieces above and 4 pieces below. Totally I have given the example of totally 8 rooms, 4 rooms in the ground floor and 4 rooms on the first floor. Just what we are seeing is only one quadrant that we have seen. Here the cylinder is there, first cut it into half, then cut it into 4 pieces, right? Once again you will get one piece. That one piece I will be showing. First take the cylinder, exactly cut it into half in the middle, right? Then cut it into 4 pieces. First cut it into half exactly, then from top cut it into 4 pieces, right? So that 8 pieces are there. Only one piece I will take and I will see how actually it looks like and all such things we'll see here, right? So first I will draw here. Observe how I draw it, because the drawings play a very vital role in electromagnetic theory, and your imagination, creativity all should work parallelly. X, Y, Z, this is the origin. Just take the cylinder, cut it into half, then cut it into 4 pieces. Just I am drawing one piece here, that is one quadrant. Totally 8 quadrants are there, because three-dimensional cylindrical coordinate system we are studying. 3-dimensional means totally 8 quadrants are there. Just first draw the square here, then parallel to x-axis draw this, then join this, right? This is one square. Then by freehand diagram just join this, so that I'll show you, it will be very clear, right? Whether the shape looks like this, if I take the cylinder, cut it into half and cut it into 4 pieces, just 4 pieces, totally 8 pieces, 4 pieces above and 4 pieces below, totally 8 quadrants are there, and only one piece I am showing here. I hope it is clear. So with respect to here, once again we are taking the help of the rectangular coordinates. X-axis is there, y-axis is there, z-axis is there, but nowhere rho, phi, z will come into picture. I'll show you how the rho, phi, z will come into picture. Just draw one line here. Just take the projection of this onto xy plane and join it here. This is the plane that is formed. Just this is the plane. Is it fine? And the distance from origin, the radius of the cylinder, let me take from origin to here, radius of the cylinder, let me call it as rho, and the angle made with respect to x-axis, this plane. Totally 3 planes are there here. The rho, phi, z, rho equal to constant plane. There are 3 planes, which are the planes I will tell you. See here, just observe my hand movement, the surface of the cylinder. This is the surface of the cylinder. See, observe here, just observe the pointer movement. Yes, this is the surface of the cylinder. This is rho equal to constant plane. Here there are totally 3 planes. Once again, rho equal to constant plane, constant. Why we call it as rho equal to constant plane? Because if I locate any point on the surface of the cylinder, rho is fixed, right? Because radius is fixed. So this entire thing here, just observe the pointer movement once again. Just observe the pointer movement once again. Yes, this is rho equal to constant plane. Then which is phi equal to constant plane? Yes, from x-axis there is a one plane I have drawn here in the middle. Just observe this, right? This one in the middle. Observe my pointer hand movement. This is phi equal to constant plane, and we'll measure this plane, the angle with respect to x-axis. This we call it as phi. So this plane we call it as phi equal to constant plane. Phi equal to constant plane. Phi equal to constant plane. Is it fine? Next, one more plane is there, z equal to constant plane. You can see the above my hand movement. Just observe the top surface, this one. Observe here, this just like cake piece, right? Triangle shape, almost triangle shape. So z equal to constant plane. 3 planes are there. Z equal to constant plane. Z equal to constant plane. Yes, z equal to constant. Just like xy plane, yz plane, zx plane in rectangular coordinate system, also we call it as x equal to 0 plane, y equal to 0 plane, z equal to 0 plane. Here there are three planes in cylindrical coordinate system: rho equal to constant plane, phi equal to constant plane, and z equal to constant plane. If I locate any point in the cylindrical coordinates, once again it is intersection of three planes. Here the three planes are rho equal to constant plane, phi equal to constant plane, and z equal to constant plane. And I have shown which are the planes here, right? So right, totally three planes are there. And the point, let me call this point as P, and the coordinates of this point are rho comma phi comma z, rho comma phi comma z. Is it fine? Okay. This is how we are locating. Just I will draw this only phi equal to constant plane here, so that you will understand clearly. Okay, before proceeding with this, we'll see what are the limits of rho phi z. Rho phi and z. What are the limits on rho phi z? We'll see. Rho represents radius of the cylinder. It is greater than or equal to 0 but less than infinity, right? So radius can be either 0 or it may go towards infinity, the radius of the cylinder. Then phi, observe here how this cylinder is formed. I will put the limits here: 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi means 180 degree. 0 to 180 degree. Pi radians is 180, right? 0 to 2 pi. 2 pi means 360 degree. 2 into 180, that is 360 degree. Observe, okay, phi. And z is minus infinity. Radius height of the cylinder can be from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, just observe this phi equal to constant plane. It is having radius rho. Yes, in this direction it is having radius rho. Okay, I will choose some other color for the pen so that it is clearly visible for you. Ink color, I will take it some other different color. Let me take it blue color, right? Okay. Okay, fine. Observe here. This is the rho equal to constant plane. Once again, right? If I take this, this distance here, it is rho, and the angle measured from x-axis, it is phi. This is phi, and height is z, right? This point P is obtained. P is rho of phi z, right? Okay. If this phi equal to constant plane, if it rotates by 360 degrees, cylinder is formed, right? It is having already radius is rho. If this phi equal to constant plane, this plane, whatever I have drawn here, if it rotates by 360 degree, naturally in circular fashion, if I take any book, let me take this phi equal to constant plane as one book here. If it rotates by 360 degrees, cylinder is formed or not, right? It is having some height z, and if it rotates, it will form a cylinder. Is it fine? If I use these limitations, rho, phi, and z, then cylinder is formed, right? Okay, I will show that constant plane here separately, so that you will be in a position to understand it clearly. Right, this is rho, it is making angle. I am drawing separately. This is phi, and this distance, height from here to here, it is z, right? This is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay, this is phi equal to constant plane. Just I will draw the plane here. I will put, okay, this is phi equal to constant plane. Phi equal to constant plane. Phi equal to constant plane is making angle phi with respect to x-axis, yes, and the radius is rho, and height is z. If this phi equal to constant plane rotates by 360 degree, cylinder is formed, right? So this I have shown in the second diagram, this one, right? This one. I hope you understood rho phi z, just like x, y, z, right? Rho is varying from 0 to infinity, phi is varying from 0 to 2 pi, and z is varying from minus infinity to plus infinity. Yes, next, what is the relationship between xyz and rho phi z? I will show you here. I have some space here. Okay, I can't see the cursor where I am. Yes, my board is becoming insensitive. Yes, here I have. Yes, what is the relationship between rho phi z and xyz? X, y, z I have. These are the three coordinates in the rectangular coordinate system. Rho, phi, z, these are the three coordinates in cylindrical coordinate system. Then if I know rho phi z, I can calculate x y z. If I know x y z, I can calculate rho phi z. Just we'll see how, what is the relation. X is equal to rho cos phi. How is this? I will show you. Just observe here. Observe the second diagram, second one I have written here. So observe the second diagram. Here, if I look from top, here I will go towards z axis, just from away from infinity, just far away from I will move along the z direction to the top, and I will observe from top. So how it looks like, I will draw here. I will draw the fourth diagram here. Okay, here I will draw it. This will be my, if I observe from top, this will be my x-axis, this will be my y-axis, because x, y, z are mutually perpendicular to each other, and this is phi equal to constant plane, right? So this is rho, and angle made is phi. Is it fine? Okay, then I'll draw the dotted line so that I will clearly understand. Yes, if I want x from here, this is the origin. Along x-axis I will move certain distance. This is x and this is y distance in terms of x and y. In terms of rho and phi, this is the radius of the cylinder rho, and phi, it is the angle made by the phi equal to constant plane, that is phi with respect to x-axis. We are measuring the angle phi, right? This is okay. Instead of rho, writing rho here, I will write rho here, and this is phi here. Is it fine? Then observe, by geometry, x is equal to rho cos phi. This distance is rho, right? Rho, and take the projection of this rho along x-axis, that is rho cos phi. So we got x equal to rho cos phi. Similarly, y equal to rho sin phi. By pure geometry, that's all. Nothing is there. Y equal to rho sin phi. And one more thing you can observe, z is common. Z is same in both the coordinates, whether it is rectangular coordinate system or spherical coordinate system, right? Z is same. So z is equal to z only in both the systems. If I know the value of rho phi z, the cylindrical coordinates, I can calculate x, y, z, because x is equal to rho cos phi, y is equal to rho sin phi, z equal to z. Then vice versa, other way around, we'll see. Other way around, what will happen? If I know x, y, z, I should be in a position to calculate rho phi z. That we'll see. Is it fine? So rho is equal to what? Phi is equal to what? We'll see. And z is equal to what? We'll see. Is it fine? So z is z in both the cases. I will write this first. Rho and phi. How to calculate rho and phi? Is it fine? Show here. I will redraw this diagram once again. I will redraw this so that it will be clearly visible, because I don't want to overwrite and confuse you people. X, y, and this is the origin. Is it fine? This is rho, and I'll take the projection onto x-axis. I'll take the projection onto y-axis. So this distance is x, this distance is y, and this distance, the angle made by rho is with respect to this x-axis is phi. Is it fine? Then I want to calculate rho. This is 90 degree here, right? The angle 90 degree here. Observe here, right? 90 degree. Then apply the Pythagoras theorem and calculate rho. This distance, which is parallel to y-axis, from here to here it will be y. So calculate rho. Rho is equal to under root of, because I know the two sides of the right angle triangle, x and y. So rho is equal to under root of x square plus y square. Under root of x square plus y square. Okay, rho. Similarly, we want to find out phi. Observe here, phi is there. Tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. Tan phi equal to opposite by, opposite is y, adjacent is x. So tan phi is equal to y by x. Phi is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So phi is equal to tan inverse of y by x. Y by x. If I know the values of x, y, z, I can calculate the cylindrical coordinates rho phi z. Vice versa. Yes. I hope you came to know this. Yes. But okay, we know the conversions. Then diagrams we have seen, and relationship between all those things. Next, caution during calculation of phi I have written. Yes, here the values are there, right? Somewhere. Okay, fine. Here the values are there. Rho phi is tan inverse of y by. While calculating phi, you should be very careful. I will tell you. It depends on the values of x and y, right? Okay, I will go to next slide and I will explain there. I will take the values of x and xy, and we will see there some values. Yes, we should be very careful while calculating the values of phi. I told tan inverse of y by x. Okay, I'll take a red pen only. It is clear for me. Okay, fine. Let me assume, okay, this is the, once again I'll draw the diagram, because the diagram plays a very vital role in understanding whatever I'm telling. So just I'll draw this first, then I'll take the diagonal so that it will be easy for me also. Yes, this is x, this is y, then this is rho, it is making angle phi with respect to x-axis, and this distance is x, this distance is y, so this distance is also y. Is it fine? Okay, let me draw it here. X and y means x-axis. As per my convenience, we can orient x and y in different directions. So this is x-axis I have taken, y-axis I have taken. If there are only two coordinates, then there are totally four quadrants. If there are only two axes, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. This all things I am telling because while calculation of phi you should be very careful. So I am putting star mark, means you should be careful. So suppose the value of x is 2 and value of y is 3. Now if both are positive, it will come in first quadrant, no problem. Substitute the value of x and y, whatever the value of phi you will get, that is fine, no problem. Suppose let me assume that the value of x is 3 and value of y is -4, means it will come in fourth quadrant. This point x is 3 and y, it will come in fourth quadrant. At this substitute the value of x and y, you calculate, you will get no problem in fourth quadrant also. But we should be very careful whenever the point comes in second quadrant and third quadrant. We'll see what will happen. So let me assume this will come in first quadrant, this point will come in fourth quadrant, no problem with these 2 points. Next we will choose one point so that it comes in second quadrant. So value of x should be negative. I will take x equal to -3 and I will take y as positive value, y equal to +4 I will take. So this point will come in second quadrant. Then I will try to calculate the value of phi, right? So tan inverse of y by x, right? Tan inverse of y is +4 and x is -3, means -4 by 3. So try to calculate using calculator. Before calculating, I will show you. So we always measure the angle in anti-clockwise direction, means I will start from x-axis and we will go like this, and that is 0 to 360 degree. So x-axis is 0 degree and for y-axis it is 90 degree, and negative x-axis it is 90, 180 degree, then negative y-axis it is 270. Once again we will come to 360 degree, nothing but 0 degree. Fine. We always, if the angle is measured in anti-clockwise direction, then it is positive angles. If I go in clockwise direction, the angles are negative, right? This is the convention what we follow. So tan inverse of -4 by 3. I will take my calculator. You also take your calculator and try to calculate. I am taking my calculator here. Okay, my calculator cell has gone. Okay. One of you calculate tan inverse of -4 by 3 and tell me how much you will get. One of you. Tan inverse of -4 by 3. How much you will get? My calculator cell has gone. Tan inverse of -4 by 3. How much I will get? Make it fast. Make it fast.
-53.13 degrees.
-53.13 degrees. Yes, your friend is telling -53.13 degrees. But observe here, x is -3 and y is +4. It should come in second quadrant, right? If it has to come in second quadrant, means the angle should lie between 90 to 180 degree. But what I am getting? -53.13. It is wrong, no? If I measure this angle -53.13 means from 0 degree I will start and I will go in clockwise direction, because negative angle means it will come in fourth quadrant. It is wrong, right? It is wrong. So in order to correct it, what we should do? So I should add plus 180 degree. Plus 180, you add it. How much you will get? 180 degree minus 53.13. How much you will get? It should lie between 90 to 180. One of please, 180 degree minus 53.
126, sir.
136, roughly 136.
126, sir.
126 or 30?
126.
126, okay, 126 degree.
126, sir.
126 only, yes, I have written here. 126 degree. Observe here, whether now angle is lying between 90 to 180, it is correct, right? Angle is correct. So, whenever the point comes in second quadrant, I should add plus 180 means whatever the value of phi that comes, original value plus 180 degree I have to do, so that I will get the correct angle 126 degree, right? Next I will give one more point and you tell me, you work and you tell me. I will give one more point. X is equal to minus 5 something I will give, and I will give y value also negative minus 3. So calculate the value of phi. Calculate the value of phi. Means this point x equal to minus 5, y equal to minus 3, it is coming in third quadrant. Now phi equal to tan inverse of y by x, minus 3 divided by minus 5. Minus minus will get, it will be plus tan inverse of 3 by 5. How much I will get? Tan inverse of 3 by 5. Make it fast. Otherwise I would have calculated. My calculator has gone.
30.
How much?
30.9, sir.
30.96.
30.
0.9, sir.
0.96.
30.9 degree we are getting. But observe here, it should come in third quadrant. Third quadrant means angle should be between 180 degree to 270 degree, right? But what I am getting 30.9. So what I should do, whenever the point comes in third quadrant, phi value we are getting 30.9, subtract minus 180 from it. Subtract minus. So 30.9 we are getting, subtract minus 180 from it. How much you will get, you tell me? Minus something I will get. Minus. Okay. 180 minus 30.9.
Minus 210.
Minus 210. 210. Yes, roughly I will tell. Yes. Minus 210. Just check it whether 210 minus 210.
Sir, minus
149, sir.
minus 149, sir.
Minus 149, sir.
1 minute. Just
149 minus 149.1.
1 minute. So x is negative and y is negative both. It is coming in third quadrant. So if I add plus 180, I am getting correct. This one I have to subtract 180 degree. 180 minus this. Okay. Minus 210 you are getting. How much you told? One of you?
Minus 149, sir.
Minus 149. Then it is wrong, no? This minus 149 is also wrong. So
Yes, sir.
it is not 5 minus 180 because the angle should come between 180 to 270. Means what I should do for the value of phi?
We have to add, sir.
I have to.
We have to add, sir.
No.
We have to add, sir.
No, in the second
Add, sir.
quadrant we have added. We have added here. But in the previous case it was correct, no?
Yes, sir.
In the previous case we have added. Here we have to subtract. But we are not getting the proper answer. Then what to do? So we should be very careful. Then what to do? X is negative, y is negative. Sorry. Okay. X is negative and y is negative means it will come in third quadrant only. Yes. Yes, it will come in third quadrant. So add 180 degree. This works. This has worked fine. But here, what's the problem? Add 180 degree. If you do, it cannot be in both the cases. It cannot be in both the cases like that. Add plus 180.
Sir, we have to minus from 270, sir.
No, it's not like that. It is add 180 and subtract that only. That I am just checking. Just 1 minute. Give me some time. Whether you have calculated tan inverse of 3 by 5. Tan inverse of 3 by 5 is 30.9. Sure? It is correct? Tan
Yes, sir.
whether your calculator is in degree mode. Please check it.
Yes, sir.
It's correct. Then you do one.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
1 minute. 180 degree minus 5 you do 180 degree. 180 degree minus 5. How much we got? 30.9. You check it. 30.9. Still it will be wrong, I think. Yes, it is wrong. Once again, 180 minus 30.9 means it will come in second quadrant. So I think calculation mistake. I think I don't have calculator here to calculate. Okay, I will use my mobile to calculate. Scientific calculator is there in the mobile. I will use that. Give me a time. I will use that. Tan is not there. Tan inverse is not there. Inverse. No, it's not there. Thought to calculate, but here tan inverse of x is minus 5, y is minus 3, so it is coming in third quadrant. Tan inverse of 3 by 5. Please try to calculate once again tan inverse of 3 by 5 properly, whether it is 30.9. Sure, please try to calculate. If any other answer other than 30.9, you tell me.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes. X is negative, y is negative. So convention what we follow here is, if it comes in second quadrant, we will add plus 180. If it comes in third quadrant, we will subtract minus 180. This is the thing we have to follow, but this is not working out here for this point, whatever I have considered. So x is minus 5 means here I will get, and y is minus 3 means here it's fine. Then it's coming in third quadrant. If I subtract minus 180, I am getting minus 149. But minus 149 is correct, but let me check it 1 minute. Okay, minus 149 is correct, but I have to measure the angle like this here. I have measured the angle in anti-clockwise direction right here. So now I should measure the angle in clockwise direction. 0 degree, minus 90 degree, minus 180 degree, minus 270 degree, minus 270 degree. Okay, minus 149, where it comes minus, so minus 90 to minus 180, it is correct now? Yes, minus 90 to minus, it's correct.
Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
correct.
sir.
It's correct only. It's correct only. Because it is coming in negative means I have to measure the angle in clockwise direction. That's all. Minus 149 is correct. But 30.9 is wrong. Because earlier if I calculate, I will get 30.9. Subtract minus 180 from it, I will get minus 149. It is correct. Yes, minus 149 is correct. It is coming once again in third quadrant. I hope you understood. I will redraw it once again. 0 degree. This is x-axis. Then I will go in clockwise direction. Now I will measure the angle in clockwise direction. 0 degree, minus 90 degree, minus 180. Sorry, something is happening. Okay, minus 180 degree, minus 270, and minus 360 is nothing but once again 0. Minus 149, somewhere it will come here. It is correct. No, it is coming in third quadrant only. Yes, it is correct. Okay. So whenever the point comes in second quadrant, if the point comes in second quadrant, add plus 180 to the angle of original value of 5, whatever you have calculated. If the point comes in third quadrant, subtract minus 180. 5 minus 180. Whatever the value of original value of 5 minus 180. Right? It is correct. Okay, fine. I hope you understood. If the point comes in first and fourth quadrant, don't worry. Don't worry. Whatever the value of 5, that itself is the original value. But if the point, I am stressing once again, if the point comes in second quadrant, add plus 180. If the point comes in third quadrant, subtract 180. That's all. Right? Okay. Next, unit vectors in rectangular coordinate system already we have seen. Now we have to see the unit vectors in cylindrical coordinate system. Okay. Unit vectors in rectangular coordinate systems are AX, AY, AZ. These are the unit vectors, also called as base vectors in rectangular coordinate system. But in cylindrical coordinate system, the unit vectors are a rho along rho direction, a phi along phi direction, az along z direction. Let me draw the diagram and explain these things to you people. Okay, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Yes, I'll try to locate one point here. Just I am taking phi equal to constant plane. I will not show all the cylindrical. Phi equal to constant. Here point P is there, having the values rho, phi, z. This distance is rho, and the angle made here it is phi, and this height is z. Right? If this is the origin. From origin, I will move through the rho distance, which is making angle phi with respect to x-axis, and I will go towards z. So I will get point P rho phi z. Then here, how to identify the unit vectors, I will tell you. So here, this is along rectangular coordinates, this is AX, AY, and AZ. We are familiar with this in rectangular coordinate system. Similarly here, we have to identify which is A rho, A phi, AZ. So point P is here. So observe here, this is arrow, because it is moving in the radial direction, right? Radius of the cylinder, arrow. Then on the surface of the cylinder, if I move towards the right, means this is the surface of the cylinder. If I move in this direction, cylinder is formed or not. Phi, if it goes from 0 to 360, if this phi plane is rotated by 360 degree, cylinder is formed. So arrow a phi in this direction, az in the upward direction, right? Az, this is az. Okay, I will take the projection of this point P in the xy plane. Here I will take the projection of this point P in the xy plane. Here I will represent the same vectors, arrow a phi az, arrow vector, this is in radial direction, then phi a phi tangential to the cylindrical surface, a phi az in the upward direction, az. If I take the projection of point P in the xy plane, right? So these are the unit vectors, arrow a phi az. Is it fine? I hope you understood this. So next, unit vectors in cylindrical coordinates are arrow a phi az that I have told. Then if I take the cross product of these unit vectors in cylindrical coordinate system, what will happen? Already we have seen the cross product of unit vector, in rectangular coordinate system. So here similar vectors and dissimilar. So here I have arrow, just I will draw that cyclic pattern, arrow a phi az. Draw the cyclic pattern. Yes. Yes. I want to take the cross product of similar vectors first. Arrow cross arrow, a phi cross a phi, z cross az. So I'll write here arrow cross arrow. It should be equal to a phi cross a phi, a phi cross a phi, and az cross az. So what will it will come? One of you can answer what will be the value of arrow cross arrow or a phi cross a phi? Yeah, because cross product we have seen. What the answer will? One of you can answer, or else I will tell. Take the cross product definition. Definition means sine of theta will come, right? So what will be the angle? Sine 0. 0 means it will be 0, right? Parallel vectors, arrow arrow, they are parallel, a phi, angle is 0, sine 0 is 0. So if I take the cross product of similar vectors, it will be 0, right? Vector a cross vector a is 0, arrow cross arrow is 0. Then if I take the cross product of dissimilar vectors, arrow cross a phi, just I will tell only for this. So a cross a phi, apply the definition of the cross product. Magnitude of arrow is 1, magnitude of a phi is 1, sine of angle between them. Arrow and a phi, arrow here ax, ay, az, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Similarly here arrow, a phi, az, they are also mutually perpendicular to each other. Arrow and a phi, sine 90 is 1, and unit normal vector is az, the other one, right? So I will get this. Similarly next I will take a phi cross az, a phi cross az. If you don't go with geometry, just blindly you can write arrow cross a phi is az. You observe the cyclic diagram. A phi cross az is arrow, you can write it blindly also. Then az cross arrow is equal to minus arrow. Sorry, az cross arrow is a phi plus a phi plus a phi. Okay, you can observe the cyclic diagram, arrow cross. Similarly, if I reverse the direction of means instead of taking arrow cross a phi, I will go against the cyclic diagram, a phi cross arrow, a phi cross arrow. We know that the cross product is not commutative. I will get negative, right? So minus az I will get. Similarly others. Az cross, if you take az cross arrow, I will change the az cross a phi, then I will get minus arrow. Blindly you can write, right? Observe here. I'll go against the cyclic diagram. Arrow cross az is minus a phi, az cross a phi is minus arrow, a phi cross arrow is minus az. Just append minus if the direction is reversed in the cyclic diagram. I hope you have understood the cross product of unit vectors in cylindrical coordinate system. Then cross product of general vectors a and b in cylindrical coordinate system. In rectangular we have seen. Next, how to write the general vector a in cylindrical coordinate system, and how to write the vector b, any vector, it can be a, b, c or anything. So how to write it? General arrow into arrow vector, a phi into a phi vector plus az into az vector. If I represent the same vector in rectangular coordinate system, I would have written ax into ax plus ay into ay plus az into az. That we have seen, right? Here we are writing the general vectors in cylindrical coordinate system: b rho into a rho, b phi into a phi plus bz into az. Yes. Yes, this is the cross product. Next we will take the cross product, vector a cross vector b. So next we will take the help of determinant. We will not use the definition of cross product. In the first row we have to write the unit vectors: a rho, just we have written for a rectangular coordinate system, a rho, a phi and az we have to write. Then write down the components of vector a. First a vector is coming, write down the components of a vector here: a rho, a phi, az. Similarly in the third row you write down the components of b vector next. Don't put line or else it will be confused. b rho, b phi, bz. So this is the determinant, how to calculate vector a cross b in cylindrical coordinate system, right? Then the dot product of general vectors a and b in cylindrical coordinate system. Yes, once again it is same. Vector a I have, vector b I have. Next I want to take the dot product of vector a and vector b. Just multiply their components, just like what we have done: ax, bx, ay, by, az, bz. Here I will get a rho, b rho. Just multiply the components: a rho, b rho. Just multiply the components: a rho here. Just I will round it here: a rho, b rho, a phi, b phi, az, bz. So here I am writing the same thing: a phi, b phi plus az, bz. Yes, this is the dot product. Yes, I hope you understood that. Then we will try to establish the relationship between the dot product of unit vectors in rectangular coordinate system and cylindrical coordinate system. In rectangular coordinate system the unit vectors are ax, ay, az. In cylindrical, a rho, a phi. What is the relationship if I want to take the dot product between two? Just I will draw this table and I will try to make you understand how we got this table. Blindly also you can remember, and geometrically also you can calculate how it will come. Just I will write the code: ax vector, ay vector and az vector. Vertically I am taking the rectangular unit vectors in rectangular coordinate system, and horizontally I will take the unit vectors in cylindrical coordinate system: a rho, a phi and az. Okay, then I will show you with the diagram how I will get. So already we know the relationship. If I know rho phi z, I can calculate x y z already I told. So already we know this: x equal to rho cos phi, y equal to rho sin phi, z equal to z. We have in the previous in the same lecture previously we studied this, right? So ax, if I take the dot product of ax dot a rho, what I will get? Ax dot a rho. So by geometry also I can calculate and write it. Blindly, if I don't look at the geometry, blindly also I can write. Blindly I will tell you first. See here, we know that x equal to rho cos phi, right? So x is here, x is equal to the subscript ax, x is equal to rho, you leave it here and write down cos phi. How cos phi will come I will tell you. I will not tell all for all, just I will draw the diagram and I will tell you. If I take the dot product of ax and a rho, how cos phi will come I will tell you. X, y, z, this is the origin. Next I will take the point P. Point P, I will take projection of point P here. So this is a rho, and tangential to the surface of the cylinder, this is a phi, and in the upward direction it is az, right? This to az, and here along x direction the unit vector is ax, along y it is ay, and along z it is az. Then I want to take the dot product of ax, and ax is here and a rho is here, right? And the angle, this rho equal to this is, it is making angle phi, right? So I want to take the dot product of ax dot a rho. It is, the angle is phi. So just magnitude of a rho vector is 1. So 1 cos phi. So just cos phi. 1 I am not writing because magnitude of vector a rho is 1. So 1 cos phi, right? By geometrically we can see that The angle between ax and a rho is phi. So if I take the projection of a rho vector onto ax vector, it is cos phi, because we have seen the scalar projection, right? Then next, ay dot a rho, what I will be getting? Blindly I will show you. Make use of this. Y equal to rho sin phi. Y equal to rho is here, don't write, so just write sin phi. How sin phi will come? Just observe here. Ay is here, and a rho is here. So if I take the projection onto x-axis, it is cos phi. If I take the projection onto y-axis, it is 1 sin phi. So 1 I am not writing sin phi, right? The next, az into a rho. Just observe here. A rho is here, az. They are mutually perpendicular to each other. If I take the dot product, cos 90 degree. Cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0. So this will come 0. Yes. Similarly, this first column we have filled. We have to fill the second column, but analyzing the diagram is very tedious. But how to fill it blindly, I will tell you. You can go through geometry, but it will be very difficult to understand. So first column you came to know. I have told both geometrically as well as blindly how to fill this first column. X equal to rho cos phi, y equal to rho sin phi. Az and a rho. Az and a rho is here. They are mutually perpendicular. Cos 90 is 0 because dot product we are taking. Then how to fill the second column? This is very important. Observe here. Take the derivative, because a phi I want to fill. I want to fill the a phi column, a phi vector column, this one. So take the derivative with respect to phi, the previous column. Derivative of cos phi is minus sin phi. Derivative of cos phi is minus sin phi. Derivative of sin phi is cos phi. Derivative of 0 is 0. Leave it. Next, come to z. How to fill this column I will tell you, or else geometry also. By geometry, how I had shown the first column, you can go with this, but blindly you go. So take the derivative of the previous column, second column elements with respect to z. It will be 0. This will be 0. But for these two it is okay. But observe here, az dot az we know. What is az dot az we know? Because what will be az dot az? Same vectors, right? They are parallel vectors. So what it will come if I take the dot product? Cos 0 is 1. So I will be getting 1. I hope you came to know how to take the dot product between two unit vectors in different coordinate system. Ax dot a rho is phi, ax dot a phi is minus sin phi, right? All these things. This table will be very helpful if I want to convert from one system to another system. If I have one point or one vector in one system, I can convert it in another system, either from rectangular to cylindrical, cylindrical to rectangular. At that time, this table is very much helpful. So I'll stop the lecture here. Yes, differential elements, it is already we have seen the differential elements in rectangular coordinate system. I'll stop my lecture here. I'll stop recording also. Wait.